Everything's good. Okay, guys, I'm here. A couple minutes late. I apologize. I got lost in another something I was working on, but I'm here now. Still looking at this crazy new setup for my Facebook Live. It's big. I don't quite get it, but it looks like everything is there. You're seeing me, so I'm good. I'm gonna hop back over to um my video. So welcome. It's Christmas card night. It's well, we're still in March. It's March 25th. And tonight I'm going to show you a card with the Sophisticated Sled. And as of the other day, you could still get the stamps pretty cheap, but it looked like the dies were gone. And you could make this card without the dies. I'm just going to tell you that. But the dies are cool to cut out this cuts out the sled in a couple pieces and such, but you can do this card without the dies. But you know what? I can't see. Let me come back over here. I can't see if you guys are on. I can't see comments or anything, so let me see if I can push this over. Oh, yeah, you know how stuff should work when there we go. So I'm gonna try and make this smaller. So now I got comments. Okay, cool. There we go. Julie's on, Dustin's on. Hey guys. I got my pre-order stuff today, but I didn't open it. I had to get this card around. I need to get stuff done for tomorrow. It's a big day tomorrow. And I probably will not open it till Thursday morning. So I'm anxious I don't even remember exactly what all I bought. So I'm anxious to get into it. Christy's on, Mom's on. Hey guys. Let me slide my screen back over now that I got my comments up. I'm going to try and make it through this without a cough, a sneeze, or needing to blow my nose, but we shall see what happens. I got a sinus, I guess. I don't know. Cold. It's nothing too crazy, but I think it's just sinus. Oh, look. Reedy. This was Reedy's from Christmas. She must have got this for like little tiny kids or something, because it's definitely doing a number on my hair. All right, guys. I don't think, what do we have to share? Demonstrators pre-order started for the new catalog. New catalogs will be coming out. You have till the end of the month if you're a demonstrator to just go into your customer selector and pick the people that you want to send it to. That's about it. We didn't really have any good promotions or anything going on this month. I got my paper pumpkin that I got to dig into because it looks really cute being all daisy-like and all that good stuff. But that's it. April will start a whole new set of kits and all that good stuff, a new sales challenge for the demonstration, for the demonstrators. So yeah, let's get going on our Christmas card though. We are ready to do that. I'm gonna come over here. Let's see my desk. We're gonna spotlight. Hopefully, I guess if you guys think this is zoomed in too far, let me know. Here's the card we're gonna. Oh, that is zoomed way in. I think I'm gonna have to go out because you're not gonna be able to see anything that I'm doing. So look away for a minute while I get. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. So this is the card that we're gonna make, and I've just called out on some retro colors. I tried to print it and it wouldn't let me. So I went on to Pinterest, said, show me some non-traditional Christmas color palettes. And this is one that I wrote down. I thought it did have a green with it, more of, I'm going to put my sweatshirt up here. I think it was more of a brownish greenish though, than what my sweatshirt color is, but it did have a little bit of a green mixed in with it. And this is not looking like petal pink, but it was a petal pink, a soft seafoam. I grabbed a Coastal Cabana. I threw in the crumb cake for the sled, even though it would have probably been this darker green had I had the right color green. And I used in some gold. So that's what I went with. I used the Sophisticated Sled and its dies. So let me flip this up. I'm using this like outline or the inner rungs, I guess, the dark part of the sled. But there is a die to cut out the whole thing. If you were to stamp it, then you could cut it out. It cuts out the ice skates, the wreath, and then there's an extra die for ice skates. It cuts out this too. There's an extra die for ice skates, the laces, the blades, and then there's a bird. The bird, it cuts out the bird. So the dies do have a bunch of fun things with it, but they were gone. So you can fussy cut this stuff and still make some cute cards, and it was on a good price. And so again, this is what we're going to make. I did put snowflakes on the inside. Not a fan, but that's what I stuck with it. So let's get started. I do have a couple of these kits ready to give away. So let's comment sled. How about sled? We'll use sled for our keyword tonight. And I've already cut everything out because I had enough other stuff going on to show you that I didn't want to do all the cutting at the same time. So let's get all of our pieces out of the way here. I'm starting with Coastal Cabana at a 5.5 by 8.5. Go ahead and score it at 4.25 or just fold it in half. I was telling the girls yesterday at class that I started out, I was going to score all their cards for them. And I realized that if I don't score it in the precise exact spot, this might not line up correctly. And so I would rather let them score it on their own trimmer or hold it like this than me messing it up just a smidge. That would really bother me if I was off just a smidge for them. So I chose not to do that for them. So hopefully they don't mind a whole lot. Then I went with a soft seafoam layer. I went down on the quarter on this one. My sample, I went down the whole 4. So this one is 4 by 5.25. I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. Oh, look, Jill didn't bring her glue. So we'll use the green glue and hope like crazy that I don't go. I'm going to have to be very precise so I don't wear it and squeeze it all over. Or I'll have everything under the sun stuck to me before I'm done. Oh. All right, I lied. I needed a Kleenex already. All right. So I got our soft seafoam layer stuck down. So then I grabbed me this little tiny diamond piece from one of the Christmas packs of paper that I did not write down the name of. It was still available last night. I knew. It was part of the gold. I don't know what it was called. So I'm going to grab my silicone mat and I'm going to show you what I did first so that you have, oh, look, I bent that all up. So you have a couple different ideas of what you can do. So you can grab your blender brush. Oh, I must have got glue, my finger's sticky. And I went with Petal Pink. Hi, Patty. I got Petal Pink. And then just rub your brush on the ink pad, and I did just ink it back up too after I made my first card, so it could be totally different. And then you're just going to rub around on the paper, but again, I see it's not really showing up, and I couldn't understand why earlier. It took me a really long time, and I inked the heck out of this, so I'm getting a big shadow from the lights. So I guess it's covering a little bit here. I just got to be forceful with the ink pad, I guess. So I'm just going to show you this. I'm going to cover it real quick and not worry that it's covered too much because I'm going to show you something else too. Oh, I can see it better on the camera than I can, or on the computer screen than I can in person with the light shining on it. All right, so we're going to call that done, right? It's not, but your other choice that you can do is to grab a brayer like this. So then you're going to take your brayer and you're going to roll it through your ink like that. And then we're just going to brayer across our paper. And I don't know if I went like this. And we'll just pick up some more ink just because, you know, I've never had the best of luck using a brayer, but seems to be kind of going okay. And you see, I'm getting a much better coverage with the brayer than I did on this paper with my brush. Now, the only issue, like I said, is that sometimes you get the lines. Can't really see it. Gotta pick it up. Sometimes you get the lines from where the ink didn't quite get all the way or whatever. So you're just gonna have to go around and back and forth and over it until it gives you the look that you're looking for. We'll call that good, even though we probably, I don't know if we'll get any more on there or not. So we'll call that good. So there's two ways that you can do the back of your, or color up your paper. Now this was a basic beigeish color paper. So now I'm just gonna run a Kleenex. If you got a paper towel, this is a new Kleenex too, just so you know, across the top and try and pick up any ink that's sitting on top of that gold. Don't think it's gonna soak into that gold. So I'll just wipe off what's on the top. And that gives us a little bit of a color. See, it's a little bit darker than my original. Oh, that looks weird on the screen. Must be, I don't know if it's wet down in there. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and glue that on. We'll give it a little bit to soak into the paper and do its own thing, but I tried a Pretty in Pink with the creamy background of this paper, and it was still pretty pink. I did not try like Flirty Flamingo or something, but this works. This works with the retroness, even though the color palette that I was looking at was definitely like a petal pink. I think this kind of works because now we're going to layer on a 3 1/8 by 4 3/8 piece of Coastal Cabana. And then on top of that is a 4 1/4 by 3-inch piece of soft seafoam. And we're going to put that on top. But we're going to bring our silicone mat back in, and we're going to use the wreath out of this sled set. We're going to use the wreath and some soft seafoam ink. And I got this card idea from Yvonne Spickman Van Bruggen, I believe is her name. I think she's from the UK. This was her layout, and I made it my layout for tonight. So we're just going to stamp some of those wreaths around on there. You can put as many or as few as you want. Don't you have to put them on there if you don't want to. I just thought, it's just another little subtle touch. Those little things that you don't think are really going to make a difference, they really do shine through with their own little touch of, oh, look at that. So, sometimes it's okay to put all that extra on there. Might look like it doesn't matter to anybody, but someone's going to pick that out and say, wow, I really like the background on that piece. And then somebody else isn't even going to notice that it's there. So I'm just trying to eyeball. I got 2 dots there. I got 2.5 dots there. We got 2 down there. We got 3 up there. So let me slide it up a little bit there. That should be sort of even on there. So, hey, Debbie. Oops, no, I think I just slid it. I got my green glue. So as we all know, the green glue gives you a second to move it around. All right, I'll try not to push it again. So now I'm just going to set this aside for a hot second. And then now we're going to build up the rest of our sled and stuff. So we've got, oh boy, do I have some sticky fingers going on. So I used gold for the base of the sled. And I'll tell you, if you cut this off like this, I think his name's Jay Soriano. He made a very, very pretty window with like a pattern, one of our scenic pattern papers in the back, and he turned that into a window. I thought that was so pretty. Looked really nice. So now I'm just going to glue this on. So I think we're going to glue that on it there. You don't have to poke all these little things out. I should have poked them out ahead of time. Sorry. Get those off here. But yeah, the die makes the cute wood grain and everything in here. So, but I believe it's on the sled as well. If you don't have the dies, it would still show up on the sled. And then you could fussy cut the sled out. So if you didn't have the dies for this card, you could use that whole piece that I showed you. Just stamp the sled and then did my glue dry up? Now watch, I'm going to squeeze it and it's just going to come shooting out at me. Because I left it sit there for a half a second. And why isn't my pin in my magnetic fold Debbie got me? There it is. It's way down at the bottom. I got too much other junk over here. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Maybe it's empty. All right, so we'll stick our little hand steering mechanism on there. That goes on like that. Probably should have my silicone mat under here in case I get glue all over. At least it'll not dry on the glass. So now I'm going to put a little bit more glue across these. Up the sides. Look how particular I have to be. And then we're just going to glue this guy on here. Like so. He's not gluing down. Again, it's all over me. Should have put the glue on the sled part. Okay. So now we've got the sled all set. I can go ahead. I'm going to pop him up and get him out of my way because he's oh, look, I got the greens, the extra pieces on the back. So let's find our dimensionals and we'll get him off the desk. We love him, but he's going to just be making a little too much of a nuisance with all that glue. Okay, and I'm going to put a little piece up at the top just to hold the top of the sled up. And what? And we're going to stick it on there. Try and put it probably in the middle. Off center, wherever you want. Okay. So now, move this over for a hot second. So now I have two skates. And these skates are the new Timid Tiger. The retro colors that I was looking at, again, were looked more, it was petal pink, and then it looked more like our cantaloupe that we used to have, or a calypso coral. So I thought I would try the Timid Tiger. And then I have my calypso coral ink that I'm going to try and give them just a little bit of a, bring this back in. You know, like some shading, some contour to the skate. But in my head, that looks perfect, but I don't really know if that's, oops. Okay. So we kind of want to go up the back a little bit. I'll call that good. You'll call that good. You can sort of see I got some of the ink on there. So the dies also cut out the blades. And I cut those out of like a brushed gold to pull in the Christmas gold. And then we're going to glue those onto the bottom of the skates. There's a few fussy pieces with this. I'm not going to lie. If you want to get into doing all this stuff with it, there are a few little fussy pieces. All right. So then we're going to just glue the skate blade part onto the skate. Like this. A hot second to move that. There we go. And yeah, skates wouldn't really be gold, and traditionally they're girl skates, they'd be white, and the blades would be silver, but we're not traditional. We are making some old-fashioned skates here. They are whatever color we want them to be. And then we've got, yep, more fussy stuff. These little laces here. So we're going to just, I'm going to just glue on the bottom for now. Because when I come through to do the hangy tie part, I want to be able to glue it under the bow so it looks like they're hanging. So we will add more glue. And I think if you look closely, you can see the little swoopies to show you like where the little swoopies from the laces go. You guys, I should have just paused it for a half a second and went and got my regular glue, but this is working. It's working. All right. So now we've got that done. We want to take some of our gold thread string, whatever stuff. And this feels pretty hefty. I know it's new in my stash, so it must have been something in the holiday catalog. It feels very almost wiry-ish, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up. Ooh, that's a big blob, Jill. And I know they should be like strings the same color as the laces because they're a continuation of the laces, but it was an afterthought. I didn't realize till I went to hang them that it needed to, that it was actually the laces that were tied together and hanging. And I'll show you. Hang on 2 seconds. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm going to lose you guys. My battery's dying. I guess I'll lose just my computer. I'll try and hurry. All right. So now we're going to take I cut out 3 different colors of the greenery, and I put the blue on the bottom, then I put the orangish color. So let me get some. the tiger, timid tiger. And glue that one on. Then I glue on some petal pink. Let me get some dimensionals. Glue that onto the card. Those off. And they're sticking to my sticky fingers. And I'm just going to stick that up here at the top. You can kind of like twist them and bend them and give them a little bit of help to get it where you want it to go. This is stuck to the dimensional, so you're not really seeing the blue as much because it's stuck down. So I'm going to move it a little bit, let it get its own little personality hanging out there. Got it on crooked, but I'm hurrying now. So we're all right. So then we're going to take our skates. I got to cut a whole strand of this off. And I'm going to try and make a double bow. Straighten that out a little bit. Get back in the camera. All right, so we got a double bow going on here, somewhat. I got to do it again. My links are all right. There's a little better. Pull that down. All right, so we got a double bow going on here that we're going to put onto the top, but I'm going to take our 2 strings from our skates. I'm going to cut them apart. Bring them together. Ah! All right, you get it. I just lost them. I pulled them out from under the stupid thing. My glue must not be dry. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? Because everything's sticking to me, I'm going to glue these skates on. Not how I wanted to do it, but we're going to go ahead and glue the skates on. Because I am glue everywhere. I need a baby wipe. Where's my sous chef to come and hand me a baby wipe? All right, so we're just going to do that. We're going to pull all of our strings up to the top. Oh, let's see. What can I get? I got to get a piece of tear tape. Where's the end? Here. And I'm going to try and corral them all. Since this is the new way I'm trying to do this. Glue all of them on there. Fold it over. Try and trap all those strings in there. And I peel it off. There we go. All right. Now I'm just going to kind of like smoosh it all together. And I want it to go, I'm just going to have it go straight up. And I'm going to glue it. So I must have lost another string from under my skate. Nope, there it is. And then now we're going to take our big old bow and we're going to glue that onto the same. So you see, in the real world, this bow would have went up higher. From our tape. Anybody sitting at home going, oh my gosh, Jill, what are you doing? I know my mom is. Yeah, it's all working out. It's working out. See what happens when you see. Must be what people at like on stage when they see the timer running out on their presentation. I see my battery dying. Okay. So we'll put it up there a little bit higher, kind of floof it out into the wreath so it looks like it kind of belongs there. Then you can come and cut your ends off if you want, or probably not that short. Then we're almost done. Then I have a piece of basic beige and my Postal Cabana ink that I'm using. Hope your days are filled with fun and laughter. It is a little larger maybe than what we should use here, but I just thought that it went nicely with the skates. So I'm just going to stamp that down. This is 7/8 of an inch wide. And then you can make it however long you want to fit your seam. And I'm going to pop it up down here at the bottom. Let's see, we got the other bottom down here. We can. I don't want to cover up too much of the sled, so you could put some glue on the sled if you wanted to, but I'm going to leave it like that. And then for the inside, like I said, I put some snowflakes, and then I went crazy with the snowflakes and ended up putting way more than what I wanted to put on there. So I'm just going to say to go ahead and put just some down around the base. That's all. We don't need them all around the whole thing. Then we can glue that on the inside. So that's crooked. All right. And then for the envelope, I put some skates on the outside. So again, I used the Postal Cabana. And because they're hanging on a string, I thought that they needed to be up at the top. more so than just lingering out there in the bottom. So you would write your address probably over the skates, because I just thought they'd be weird hanging way down in there. So there we go, guys. There's our card for this Christmas card for March. And comment with sled, and we will get a couple of winners. I'll probably draw them tomorrow, because I will be doing my regular video tomorrow night. So I will draw the names tomorrow and be good. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. And yay. Oh, battery low. Now I got the warning light. So I'm going to hang up. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. And thanks for watching, sharing, commenting, and everything in between. Bye. Okay, go back.